Any other votes?
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's move
Okay.
forward.
Yeah, let's go forward.
All right, the next question comes from Travis Hallman from Ask a Libertarian. And I'm just going to read to you what he wrote. Many third-party members and candidates revere the Libertarian Party for being so successful at gaining ballot access. As vice chair, how will you assist other third-party candidates to defeat the duopoly? And we go back to Alex.
Okay. So ballot access is still a very big area that still needs help. I mean, places like Ohio, New York need a lot of ballot access help, especially with Ohio, with everything that Kasich did. New York, hopefully, will get ballot access this year. But the LNC can help in other ways, technological help. So right now, the Candidate Support Committee is doing the CRM project, basically creating a CRM that would work across a customer relationship manager that would work across the 50 states. That's an important project that'll allow campaigns and candidates and state affiliates to share data in ways that we can't now, which is amazing. Media help, okay? So the LNC hired someone to do public relationships. These are things that definitely do help affiliates, help candidates be able to do their job better. And that's the LNC's strength, and that's what the focus should always be on, just providing that support. So basically more of that.
Okay. Joe Houtman.
I would say that we should focus on places where, first, I'm more interested in the libertarians getting ballot status than any other third parties. If we can help lower the laws that help everyone, that's fine. But my first priority is getting the LP permanent ballot access. I would focus on those states where we can, as a result of election results or registration, get permanent access, as opposed to having to try to go in and do these huge petition drives all the time. When we get down to those, and that's all that's left, we'll try in the courts, but I suspect we're just going to have to keep assisting those states on the ballot drives. I think that it's important to give the people a choice, and so I do consider ballot access very important, and I consider whole party access very important. That's one of the reasons Indiana has been as successful as it is. Quite frankly, if we ever become a major party, it's going to be a lot harder to get our candidates on than it is right now in our status as a recognized party, but not a minor party. So I think each state's unique. We should work to find the way that gets the most libertarian candidates permanently on the ballot.
Okay, next up is Steve, and he seems to have walked away. So, oh, okay. Steve, you're next.
Yeah, the role of the vice chair, as far as the bylaws say, doesn't really show a whole lot. But for me personally, the way I would approach it would be as a facilitator. We have a really great elections committee right now in Pennsylvania, and we have a lot of motivated people who are going around doing petitions and actually setting up a way to train people on how to petition, how to do petition drives. Some of the arguments that have been effective in our court cases, for example, we're going to be speaking to people about. And I think what the vice chair can do is put Pennsylvania's election committee in contact with Indiana's election committee, in contact with California's election committee, and build a coalition that way to basically help all libertarians across the United States with legal challenges, with petition drive questions, and helping candidates actually formulate the best message possible. So that's the way I see it.
Okay, Arvin?
During the last 6 years, I've always voted in favor of ballot access. I mean, this is a no-brainer. It is the most important thing. If we're not on the ballot, then we certainly can win, but we can't even do that outreach that I was talking about earlier. If we are on the ballot, then yeah, we're getting interviewed by media, we're getting in the League of Women Voter Circulars, we can talk about ending the drug war, ending government schools, ending Medicare, ending the income tax, ending all that kind of stuff. But we can't do any of that if we're not on the ballot. It is not just a ballot issue, it is a media issue. And so I've made it a high priority. I've always voted against it. I've always spoken in favor of it at LNC meetings, and I will continue to do that. It is the most important thing that we can possibly be doing right now.
James.
Well, I'm going to take some time here to speak on a call to action between everyone that's watching this right now. Thanks to the success of Gary Johnson in Michigan, the Libertarian Party has gone into a weird area of election of ballot law right now, where we have to follow all the same rules as the major party, but get none of the matching funding and all that kind of nonsense. So as a party now, to get our a candidate on the ballot for Senate, we need a minimum of 15,000 signatures, and we're a party that never had to do that before. So some parties that had to go out and get the signatures, we haven't had. Well, we had to do it before, but years ago. This is years. We haven't had to go out and collect signatures for years. None of us really are all that great at it, apparently. And no one wants to really help anybody out. So what it takes is money, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm calling everybody to donate to Ellison for Senate. Brian Ellison, great Senate candidate. We need him on the ballot in Michigan. Please donate so we can get people to go out there. We can motivate people to collect some signatures by putting some financial incentive there, there to get them to collect the signatures for us, because we are in desperate need of signatures, need as much help as we can get. So EllisonForSenate.com is Ellison #4 Senate.com. Please donate, help Brian out, help him get on the ballot. We need a senator on the ballot in Michigan.
Thank you. Joe Pascal, you're up next.
So I believe the question was, would we help all third-party ballot, all third parties, if I'm correct, Angela?
I will reread the question. Many third-party members and candidates revere the LP for being so successful at gaining ballot access. As vice chair, will you assist other third-party candidates to defeat the duopoly?
And yes, I would. I mean, I think we'd be hypocrites not to help other third parties, say the Green Party or whatever, if we can. Our focus, our primary focus should be on libertarians. But if we are really fighting for full ballot access for third parties, that does include other third parties, in all fairness. Fortunately, I live in Montana. We've got full ballot access, and the only way we lose ballot access in Montana is we got to have like 5% of the vote for 3 election cycles is how it works. And that's how we keep it. And we've been doing good, but yeah, the other third parties too, I think, in our effort, the enemy of our enemy is our friend, so to speak, right? And the third party is, the other third parties understand, and they look to us for guidance because we came so far on the ballot access issues. Thank you.
The opportunity to retort. Alex?
Okay. Just wanted to add one thing because I realized I misunderstood the question as I was referring to all third parties. Where we can work a lot with the third parties is not necessarily on candidates, but on ballot initiatives. So we can work on ballot initiatives, especially regarding electoral reform. And I think we should make outreach to parties like the Green, the Conservative Party, on ballot initiatives on electoral reform that benefits all third parties, including us, that benefits libertarians, but builds a coalition to get the signatures, to get the initiative on the ballot, and get the word out there.
James?
Yeah, I guess I kind of misused the thing anyway, so I'm going to answer it. Definitely build coalitions to, with other third parties would be a great thing to do to help with ballot access, to try and, change the election laws to make it easier on parties to get on the ballot. But again, please donate, EllisonForSenate.com. We need help getting on the ballot. It's very important to have a Senate candidate on the ballot, and without the donations, we won't be able to make it happen. So please generously donate. Thank you.
When it comes to paid petitioners, a lot of times the paid petitioners will circulate Green Party candidates, Libertarian Party candidates, they'll be charging the Libertarian Party a bit more for those signatures than they will for the Green Party. I'm not really all that cool in doing that, and you know, and I made that clear to the Green Party people. You know, again, we'll help them with ballot initiatives, we'll help them in any other way possible, but you know, when we have a certain amount of political capital, a certain amount of capital, we need to keep that for our own candidates.
Arvin? We can't hear you.
Sorry about that. I muted myself. One thing that I wanted to add is that, because it looks like I kind of maybe misunderstood the question there, is one of the big things that we've been doing with the Green Party is focusing on the presidential debates, because getting rid of organizations like the Committee on Presidential Debates, or weakening their power, or trying to do those laws, that's something where we can work together, and that's working with our, you know, in this one area, allies. So I think that in areas where we see mutual benefit, of course we should work together.
Anyone else?